Hey, what's going on, guys? MMD Cards back at it again with another Pokepiece Talk, episode 3. Today we are talking about OP-12. Why are we talking about OP-12? I want to show you guys this insane quantity buyout. So, we are looking at OP-12 because of this. In the past few days, 308 booster boxes have sold between that 99 to 130-ish value. If we view the data here, we're seeing a lot of buys at 109. Why is it still this low? It's because there was a lot of people holding on to these boxes. They took an L, they bought it when it was probably 130, 140, have held it for a while. Boxes on 12 got as low as like $80, $90 at one point that you can get from online retailers. And now I think a lot of people are just ready to get rid of their 12 boxes. This means, though, that 12 is actually a little bit better than a lot of people are giving it credit for. When we go to what is inside, what is the price guide, we have the Blackbeard, Gold, Silver, and the Bonnie manga. 3 cards above 500, let's say, and a couple of SPs that are over 100, and manga Zoro as well here, over 100. Everything else about 60, 50 bucks and under. We do have the Treasure Rare Sanji there. Okay, so now that we kind of went over that, why is 12 decently strong? We want to show you this as well. Let's go. When you go to shop the set, you bring up the cases. The cases are being bought out as well. Cases were cheap for this. This was about, I've seen multiple sites online had it at about $1,000, $1,100, maybe $1,200 if you caught it towards the end of that. But now you see multiple sales at $1,600, lowest list around $1,700. This is what I'm saying. This has the SSP. This has the Teach, the gold, silver Teaches. This gives you extra value comparatively. I know 11 is also a very strong set with the Luffy's, but you go back to 10 and below and you don't have those SSPs. So Bonnie also being featured in the next EBO4 set and possibly another set in the future is giving strength to Bonnie. A lot of people like Bonnie. The manga itself is showing its strength as the graph continues to climb and the sales on Raws continue to be over 700. That is pretty strong for a sort of supposed to be weaker set in between 13 and 11. 11 being the Luffy, Gold, Silver, and Snake Man manga, and 13 having the red mangas and the God Pack. 12 was supposed to be a slightly weaker in sense of that, but it is showing its strength in the One Piece market right now. When cases are rising that high and that rapidly, you're going to see the booster boxes. I'm sorry, I should have had another tab pulled up, but let's pull it back up one more time. You're going to see the booster boxes being gobbled up. 308 within a couple of days is a lot. And with 30 listings here, a lot of these are not even the English set, and you have someone that's not even a verified seller right there. And once you get down, you get to 110 to 125 to 130 to 140. In my opinion, these are going to be 140 to 150 by the end of the week. This is the December 8th week, starting off on a Monday. I think that it deserves to be there. I don't think it should be a $100 box. I don't think it should be a $110 box. I think that this set is strong enough to be at least $150, if not. And when you compare it to something as, I would say mediocre. I wouldn't say, want to say weak anymore. Let's say mediocre set as in like 10, OP-8, where the mangas are not as strong in carrying the sets. Those are more than 12. It's just because 12 is more recent, has a little bit more, like I said, in between the 11 and 13 set. So it kind of got shot into the background and faded into the shadows a little bit. And now it's starting to pick up once we move on with more sets and supply dries up for OP-12. So now that I kind of put that price prediction out there, I mean, I do believe in the set as well, with the both of the SPs being the Teach and also the Bonnie manga. I do love this Zoro manga event art and this Sanji treasure rare as well. Perona has there, and we have a couple of other SPs featured in this monochrome style. Is it monochrome or dual color style with the black, whatever you want to say. It has some decent art in here. So I do want to touch upon this, of course, one more time. We did see a bunch of sales under 300 after I made that barrier being broken. A lot of people probably saw that that was their selling point, 300, you know, maybe they got it at $150, $160, and they kind of wanted to take their double up and move on. That's what a lot of people are doing right now. So that's why you're seeing these pullbacks, which I kind of mentioned earlier in a video or two, that there was going to be some 13 pullback. You're not just going to see this continual climb up without anything dropping here and there. Granted, all of those have already been eaten up, and we have low list at 309 plus ship, so we're at 320 basically already here, and it's not before long before we reach 350 with what is listed. So as we climb up in this gradual buyouts, you want to call it, or gradual increase and decrease of supply, increase in price, decrease in supply, you're going to see more people post because they're reaching their target number of what they wanted to sell at. So don't be surprised when you see someone come and undercut, you know, to 298 or 294 and try to make that quick sale. It's not holding it back for long. It basically only went up and down like this on the weekend between 300 and I think 270-ish. And all of that product is gone, and we're kind of sitting here. So even if a few more people list under 300, I think it will be eaten up very quickly, and we will start to reach the 325 to 350 range. You can kind of see this graph still shooting up straight, but as you monitor it daily, you monitor it every few days, you'll see that there'll be some small pullback. I do want to touch upon cases. Cases had the same exact thing. A couple of people listing, you know, a little bit over 3,000, 32, 33, 3,000 here. That was bought pretty quickly. And then boom, back to 3,500 with low list at 3.4, 3.4, 3.4, 3.4, and then we have 3.5s. So cases are doing the exact same thing. Some people are taking profits, and that's what happens. On the flip side of that, when the set is not as new and the set is not as recent and people have been holding for a long time, you are going to see this happen. OP-05, a new case price, has sold at close to 9,000. Low list is now basically 11,000, and then it just gets to the moon there. Boxes have also shot up again. They are breaking the 800 territory. 800 was kind of the I wouldn't say wall, because it only lasted a couple of days where there was like 760 to 770 sales, 780 sales. But now people are realizing, with cases being that high, that loose boxes should also be following some sort of trend up. And low list is 834. So I would not expect 800s to be broken downward again very soon, and if it does, it'll probably just be brief. And of course, we have to speak about PRBO2. This is the one set that I really do believe in. I really do believe in premium boosters and the pop count in them, and how much are actually printed, and the specialty being 10 booster boxes per case. I wanted to showcase that there is a 2,500 sale now, and low lists are basically 24 to 2,500. Meaning that boxes should be above 200 when you go solo. Bang, here we have 230, 240, 240. So we were monitoring this last week, and we were already sitting around 200, and then it got to 225, and now we're at 240. This box is, like I said, this is a pickup. I understand that 13 is the main priority, but if you have a good enough position in 13, or let's say that you can't really find supply that is enough value for you in 13, and the price is just too high, and you can find a better deal on PRBO2, I say take it. PRBO2 is and will go up, in my opinion. 240 is not going to sit there for long with only a few listings before we get to the 250 mark. If you guys want to see me monitoring and showcasing some singles and some other things like that, let me know. I'm having a great time kind of flowing through this one piece market and giving it a video every couple of days and showcasing my thoughts on what sets to be looking out for, slash what just to keep an eye on in general. I know a bunch of the mangas are just doing astronomical numbers, and some of the SPs are just being bought on a whim. I know some of the treasure rares as well are just having just straight out buyouts, but I do enjoy this sort of video style, and I do want to see where One Piece continues to go to. So that's it for PokePiece episode 3. I thank you all for watching. Short one today. Peace.